Good evening, folks. Welcome to this edition of Curveball Convos with your boys at Carolina Curveball. Tonight, once again, we have another full barn, which is always a pleasure to see with the boys. Introduce myself. My name is Kason. We're with Braxton, Colby, Reed. Reed, how's it going, bud?
Doing well. Good weekend. A lot of crazy series this past weekend.
That's right. Colby, how's it going, man? Did you make your way out to a game this weekend?
Yeah, doing good. I made the way to Doak yesterday, which was exciting. Packed house for State Clemson, the final game of that series since it started on Thursday. Yeah, my legs aren't very appreciative. I forgot to put on sunscreen. I'm very sunburnt, so.
Well, we hope you find some aloe, sir, and we saw a heck of a series. Braxton, how's it going, bud?
Good, man. Excited to be here tonight. Talk some ball. Obviously, it was a great weekend. Clemson State with a big sweep against Clemson. Had some other shift around, probably in the rankings. So we'll get into all of it. But another great weekend.
Yeah, boys, and that is a good way to start off. Braxton, if you would like to pull up the graphic. Thank you to Colby for gathering these scores throughout the weekend. He is a massive help in terms of that. And then here are the series as well. If you look on the top, if you're listening, we'll read it off. But if you're watching, you can see on top the series result, and the bottom is the Sunday score. And Colby, we'll start off with you, man. The first box. Number 2, Clemson comes into Raleigh to face number 25, NC State, and gets swept by the Pack. The Pack have been playing well as of late. Me and Reed talked about yesterday that every year around this time, no matter how bad NC State starts, no matter how good NC State starts, around this time they just find a way to win series. And, I mean, look, it was the same conversation last year going into May. You're like, they're on the hosting bubble, don't know. But now, Colby, it's looking real bright over there in Raleigh.
Yeah, it was a good series sweep. Clemson hasn't lost a series all year, and they came into Raleigh and not only lost the series, they got swept in pretty dominating fashion. State only used 6 pitchers all weekend. And Thursday, run rule, Fritten pitched well. Friday, Andrews pitched well, pretty handedly win. And then yesterday, another solid win. Marone pitched well. I think bearing a late season collapse, State should be a host. I think their resume is too strong to leave out. I think the only downside of the resume is a loss to Ohio State in February, and they're like 12 and 30 now or something like that. And their midweeks hasn't been as strong, but I just think their series wins, and now they're kind of in unprecedented territory recently. They're sitting first in the ACC, so I just think the resume is really strong.
Yeah, no question about it. And we'll kind of go game by game here, Cole, because I have the box score printed out. And we have not seen this all year. Aiden Kanak's first loss of the year. He went 4 innings, giving up 11 hits, 8 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts on 85 pitches. He faced 25 batters, Colby, and gave up 8 earned runs. And I mean, the rest of the way, I mean, Clemson kind of held through there until the end, until Justin LeGurnick came in and gave up 4 runs. But Colby, what do you think the approach was to face Kanak? And I mean, talk about Braden and what he did at the plate on Friday night.
Yeah, Braden Friesman, 5 for 5, 2 home runs, was it 7 or 8 RBI? Can't totally remember, but yeah, they attacked Kanak early and often, and their approach was let him come to. They didn't really chase, let Kanak come to them, and worked out that game for sure. 14 runs. Obviously, you said Kanak let up 7, you said, or is it
8?
8. Yeah, and then they just kept hitting. I mean, it was somewhat in reach for Clemson, but then once the bullpen got brought, because Clemson was kind of making their way back a little bit on the offensive side, and then State brought in Anderson Nance, who's been dominant past this whole year, honestly, and then State just kept adding more runs.
And then to move on to Saturday, it was Drew Titsworth with the 0-0. I mean, just an all-time.
Yeah, that guy's a good
all-timer. Faced off against Heath Andrews, Colby. Heath Andrews went 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks as well. Frosman went 3 for 4 once again. He is just playing outstanding. Sosa also had a home run as well as Josh Hogue on Friday, And then on Saturday, Colby, talk about Ryan Moran and what he did on that final game. He went 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he dominated. He gave up a first inning home run to Purify, I believe, on Saturday in the first. And then after that, he was just dominant. Clemson threatened once, I believe it was in the 6th inning. Canarella had a leadoff double while it was tied 1-1, and he got out of that. Clemson's hitting with runners in scoring position this series was awful. I don't know the final numbers, but they had chances, and they never came through. And Marone navigated his way out of 8 innings, 1-run ball, really dominant. And then State brought in Duden, who's been really good ever since his early season struggles, and struck out the side in the ninth to clinch the series sweep.
Yeah, no question about it. And I'll pass it to Reed Tobin and give Hugh a breather, Colby. Reed, as our resident Field of 64 lead projector, for both of these programs going into Wednesday, where do you have them, or kind of a rough area for both these programs?
Well, like Colby said, I think this definitely will move State into the hosting picture. Now they're sitting firmly in first place in the ACC. Obviously, Florida State's right there, but they've played one less series. But, State's been playing really good ball the past couple of weeks, kind of just like last year, started slow. And then, props to Avon. He just gets his team going middle of April through May. But, I mean, Clemson, first series loss of the year. They're still going to be a projected host. They're probably going to be right down there, right on the bubble of a top 8 now. They were sitting pretty at 2 coming in this week. Big series for them coming up next weekend too, at Florida State. So we'll have our eyes definitely on that one too next week.
Yeah. Braxton, do you have any comments on this series or outcome?
Yeah, I mean, we knew Clemson was going to get tested at this point in the season. Like you said, Reed, they play Florida State next week. We knew State was capable of beating them. I think the sweep is a little bit of a surprise. But, all credit to the Wolfpack this weekend. I've been really impressed with their starting pitching. I mean, I didn't know – obviously Fritton's been real dominant, but Marone's been exceptional, I think, on Sundays in those game 3s. And I think that's a big reason why they're having a lot of success, because the bats kind of haven't been there all year, but they've started to come along as they've gotten hot. And then they've just been lights out on the mound. We know what they have out of the bullpen. And I mean, like you guys said, this is what State does every year. And here they are in the hosting picture late in April. So,
yeah, no question about it. We will get into the hosting discussion later as we wrap up the weekend series. The next series I want to go over to is Wilmington getting the series win over College of Charleston. We'll start off Friday night. Zane Taylor with now an 8-1 record on the year for the Seahawks. Went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, led the way there. Also, Tanner Thatch went 3 for 4 on Friday and got the win 9-1. And then on Saturday, Wilmington wins 11-6. Nice solid win. And then today, College of Charleston picks up the win 5-2. Cam Bagwell got hit on a little bit today, but Alex Loyne of College of Charleston, who's 7-1 on the year, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Brax, this is a big series win for UNC Wilmington, who's really honestly had a rough year at it this year. Series win for their RPI and chances in the CAA.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I picked Wilmington in the pick'em just because I think they were a little bit more ready for this series. I think obviously Charleston's a very talented club. They've had their struggles this year, but what made me pick Wilmington is just I think Charleston's just kind of been on the down trajectory, whereas Wilmington's been on the up, especially in the CAA. I think Charleston might end up playing themselves out of the tournament, out of the CAA tournament when it's all said and done, which was just crazy to think about. They were sitting, I think, in second a few weeks ago before they played Northeastern. And then, they've just been kind of dwindling down since then. UNCW's moving up in the right direction. If they can get hot, that's certainly a team that can win that tournament because that's their ticket in at this point. But yeah, a good series win on the road for Wilmington. There's no doubt about that, especially, when you have this inner Carolinas matchup in the CAA.
No question about it. And Reed Tobin, as we're getting closer to the end of the season, what is your outlook on the CAA and who they get into the NCAA tournament?
Well, certainly. I mean that's huge for Wilmington. Get down to Charleston, get that series. They swept Townsend last week. I think we all know that Northeastern's going to win that CAA. Like Braxton was saying, Wilmington's going to have to win that tournament to get in. I still think that Northeastern can be an at-large team. Their RPI is really good. I mean, they're 34-9, I believe, right now too. Overall, but Wilmington plays Monmouth this upcoming weekend, so they'll have another good chance at a sweep this upcoming weekend. I believe they play at NC State on Tuesday as well. So big chances this week for the Seahawks.
Yeah, no question about it. We will then move on to Davidson picking up a series win at St. Bonaventure. Davidson with a good week this week. They also picked up a midweek win over Winthrop, 12-9. Looking right here at the box scores, nothing too crazy for Davidson, but a good series win for them as they are moving up in the A10. Radford picks up a series win over UNC Asheville. Asheville, I mean, who'd they beat last week? They beat High Point, right?
High Point. Yeah, they beat High Point.
Yeah, so just
this loss actually drops them, as of right now, out of the Big South tournament. So they need to get a couple series wins here late in the year to have a chance.
Davidson's one game back. I'll add one game back in the A10 right now. So something to keep an eye on.
The next one, Mercer sweeps UNCG. I mean, UNCG. I mean, you never know what team's going to show up. But
yeah,
not a good sweep there for them. And Winthrop with the series sweep over Longwood. We see Longwood on this graphic every single week. I feel like Longwood gets swept by Winthrop. And then another surprising one, Western Carolina with the series win over Samford. I mean, I don't think Samford's that good. Is their record that good?
I think they are pretty good. I mean, they swept Wofford. I mean, everyone's sweeping Wofford at this point. But
that's what I mean. It's like 20-18 or something like that.
I don't know.
They're 23-20.
Yeah.
Okay.
89th in RPI. So I mean, they're not terrible.
They're not terrible.
Western's RPI is up to like 106 now or something like that. So I mean, Western's right there too. If they can, I don't know what they are in the.
They play Georgia Tech this upcoming weekend in a series. Tech's off in ACC play, so interesting non-conference series later in the season.
That'd be something to beat them.
I mean, the way Georgia Tech's been playing recently, I think they've lost 7 out of their last 8 games too. So,
yeah, no question about it. The next one, South Carolina at Kentucky. I will say, boys, I did not watch too much of this series. Does anyone have comments on this series? So we can talk about this one.
I didn't watch any of it, but I mean, South Carolina, we talked about it last week. They need to win these. They need to win. This actually is a big blow to their tournament chances. I think they need to win these SEC series probably all the way throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're 5-16 now in conference play. I mean, realistically, maybe if they got to 12-18, they'd be right there on the bubble. Yeah. But I mean, at this rate, they're going to have to win 6 games in 6 days in Hoover.
I just don't think it's happening this year for the Gamecocks.
No.
I think they're going to be another year or two away. I mean, they're obviously they have a big draw with their program, and then I don't know what's going to happen with the coaching position, but just not where you want to be. Obviously, if you're a Gamecock fan, but certainly you finish out the season strong maybe, and then you flip the page, but. It is what it is. You're playing in the SEC, so And Kentucky's still a really good ball club too. To go on the road in Lexington and win a series, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. So
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know the other, but
Colby, I know you were talking to me about it on Friday night a little bit about the SEC outlook. What is the SEC outlook looking like right now, Colby? If you do know, if not, I can pass someone else just in terms of the top of the SEC.
Yeah, Texas is running it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna win the regular season. They swept.
19-2.
Yeah, they swept A&M this weekend. A&M was pretty much in the tournament coming into this week, and we'll see how the getting swept gets them affected. I mean, I still think their metrics are good, but yeah, majority of the SEC teams will get in the tournament. Missouri, South Carolina are the ones that are out for sure. There might be another one if I'm missing one, Reed.
I think Mississippi State is an interesting.
Yeah,
one.
Mississippi.
Yeah,
I mean, they lost another series this weekend, so I wouldn't have them in.
And
Yeah,
then
but
when
I
you
think
talk
everyone
about
else,
Florida just took care of business against Arkansas, so
Florida and Kentucky both will get in.
yeah, I mean Kentucky, they beat Tennessee last weekend too. So
when you talk about host, Reed, what were you thinking? 7 or 8?
yeah, I mean realistically, right now, I mean teams are going to continue to beat up on each other, but I mean like as of right now, I could see 7 to 8 SEC teams hosting.
I was going to say at least. I was going to say at least 7. I mean, you've got Texas, Arkansas, LSU for sure, Tennessee for sure. I don't know about Ole Miss. Probably Georgia or Auburn or Alabama.
They just beat Ole Miss just beat Vandy in a series this weekend, so they're probably right there, back up near the hosting picture. I mean, obviously Auburn and Alabama are really good in metrics too. They're sitting pretty. LSU.
You got Oklahoma too.
I mean, Oklahoma's sitting right there too. I mean,
30 wins.
I mean, it's gonna play out over these next couple of weeks. Some of these teams, I mean, are gonna be really tricky twos going to some of these other schools. But I mean, it's fascinating to see.
Yeah, and as you guys brought up Mississippi State, let's keep it in the state of Mississippi. Our money match sort of alma mater, Southern Miss sweeps App State. Southern Miss continues to be a wagon in the Sun Belt. App State with a tough loss. They did have a chance today, but just could not fall through today. The next one, Campbell gets a series win over Townsend. They went for the sweep today.
Wow.
Did not pick it up. I mean, good. I mean, this is a good series win for Campbell. I mean, they're not picking series wins up a lot, but they'll take it when they get it, right, Braxton?
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe like a month ago Campbell was hot and they got into our rankings, winning 4 series in a row, and then they just completely turned on their head again. It's been a roller coaster of a season for Campbell, but look, it's a first-year coach. I mean, you can always go back to that. So you just kind of gotta. I don't think are they going to make the CAA tournament? Probably not.
Let's see what they are.
Do you know?
I think they're currently
They're the
6th.
tiebreakers. Yeah, 6th.
So maybe.
Yeah, they still have a chance.
I don't see them.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting at 9-9 right now.
Even if they do, I don't think they can win that tournament. But hey, they'd be better than last year. They missed it last year, so
That's fair. Speaking of another team that gets in our rankings every now and then and tends to underperform is Charleston Southern, but they did pick up a series win this weekend over Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Good solid win for that program. The next one, the Citadel sweeping a scrappy VMI team. Good win for first-year head coach at the Citadel. Huge series win for them for sure. The next one, Duke, with an impressive 14-0 win over Virginia Tech today. Reed, Duke moves to 2-1 in Duke wins the series 2-1. Excuse me. And what are they in the ACC now, Colby?
I think they were.
What is?
They're like tied for 6.
Yeah, they're going to be in that. They're going to get one bye as of right now.
Yeah, I think they're
the
12-9,
ACC starting to bottleneck towards the top.
Yep.
Because State's in first, and then State's a game and a half up on 3 teams: Florida State, Carolina, and Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty close.
I think
Duke
you had to
is
pick- Go ahead,
14 and 10.
14 and 10.
Yeah.
If you guys had to pick the 4 double buys, who would you say right now?
Clemson, NC State.
Florida State, Carolina,
That's probably how I lean. Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
Georgia Tech hasn't been playing well.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State still has to play
Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah. I
still.
think you could better answer that by seeing who the rest of the teams play. I know. I don't know. I know State Carolina play.
Yeah, and then Clemson and Florida State play.
Miami's been really
Carolina
hot,
plays
too.
Florida State.
They've won 8 ACC games in a row. That's a huge series next weekend when they take on NC State.
I kind of hope that I know it probably won't happen, but I kind of hope that the ACC tournament winner is like kind of a upset win, so that we can just get another ACC team in the tournament.
There's no way a team's winning 5 games.
I know it's not going to happen, but
no shot. They're going to be calling out fans in the stands to come pitch for them.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, good
Tobin's going to get loose in Durham.
Tobin, could you go on the mound and throw a shutout inning?
Yeah, I'll have my arm nice and iced up in preparation for the team making a run.
I mean, I would pay a lot of money to see that. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. I would see a whole lot of money to see Tobin on the mound. Tobin, what are you topping out at right now?
I don't know.
67 max.
Yeah, I'm going at 82.
Oh no!
I'll tell you what, man, that like velo, that like little like velocity tunnel that they have sometimes set up at games, that's got Tobin written all over it.
Oh yes, you know, boys. I'm planning on going to the AC tournament with us, as well as Matt, James, the tech. We'll never know, but hopefully us 5 go. And I hope there's one. We're going to get Tobin up in there. And Tobin, if you get over 80, I'll buy you a beer.
There's no way.
That's good.
Anyone else want to get on this?
I'll get in on it, but I'm
3 pitches before my arm gives out.
I'm throwing it at like 80% because if I go 100, my arm will hurt so bad. So
yeah, I was gonna say I think the only person on Curveball staff that could throw 80 plus is Braxton. And the rest of us are cooked.
Yeah, I could definitely go 80 plus, but it would hurt.
I'm saying, are you in on? Do you think would you buy Reed a beer if he gets over 80?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's not happening.
In Reed, if you get a tick over 80, like 81, 82, I'll get you a funnel cake.
You can get yourself that.
Okay, boys. As we move on to Braxton's alma mater, USC Upstate gets a series sweep over Gardner-Webb after a rough week. Braxton, the midweek, they dropped 2 to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah,
but they do pick up a sweep this weekend. I had these box scores. Ant Phillips on Friday went 6 innings, no earned runs, 5 hits, 3 Ks in a solid win on Friday. Let me go through these pitching ones really quick. Darian Kuski with 4 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 4 Ks. And then Chris Torres today with 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks.
Yeah,
and the win today. So, Braxton.
Yeah, no, that's a good series win. We've kind of owned Gardner-Webb honestly the past few years. I think we always play really well against them. I really like the rotation that they've kind of formed with Kuski. Ant Phillips has been a phenomenal breakout arm for them late in the year here, obviously with his performance against High Point. And then obviously Torres on Sundays has been really good, the left-hander as well. But Upstate's going to hit the ball too. I mean, that's what this club's built off of. They've always had good offense, going back to when I was there a couple years ago and even before that, Coach Kane Sweeney and what they're doing over there. And I like this team to continue to stay hot and go into the tournament and possibly win it. Right now, they're tied with High Point for first, or maybe they have the head-to-head edge for the league. But it's going to be an interesting finish 2 Big South play for who gets that 1 seed come tournament time. But a good weekend for the Spartans.
Yeah, no question about it. And the next series, Carolina at Pitt. Heels get the nice 2-1 win over Pitt. I will let you boys discuss it, but first, let me read off some stats because I have the box scores in front of me. This was on Friday. Luke Stevenson, 2 home runs. Gavin Gallagher, 3 home runs. Tyson Bass, 1 home run. Alex Madera, 1 home run. Also, Jake Knapp, who's 9-0 on the year, went 6 and 1 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 Ks. Absolutely unbelievable from the plate, as well as Jackson Vanderbeek also went 3 for 6. And Gavin Gallagher went 3 for 5 with 3 home runs, boys. So let's keep it here on Friday and then just read 3 for 3 home runs, Reed? Holy cow.
Yeah, it was 3 straight at bats too. I was in shock sitting there watching it. As a team at 7 homers Friday night.
Yeah.
Knapp just continues to do his thing. I mean, he's been sensational all of season long. Coming back from the season-ending injury he had last year, and then what he's doing this year is remarkable.
Yeah, and he followed it up with another home run in the loss on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So did Tyson Bass.
Yeah, so did Tyson Bass. And Aiden Hall went 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs. Braxton, kind of a tough kind of stretch here for him the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. No, he's had probably his worst couple of starts of the year in the past few weeks, but he's been really solid for them most of the year. I think you're going to see him throw in a regional. I think he did last year actually against LSU. I could be wrong, but that's a good arm. He's taken a lot of good steps for them. And going back to the offense, I think the ball was just flying there in Pittsburgh on Friday night. I mean, Madera, that was his first home run of the season. He went the other way and it got out. So, I mean, this is an offense that's really been there were some question marks around them, a month or so back, and they've kind of answered that call pretty well, I think. And they're starting to look like the offense we kind of saw early in the year when they were dominant. And we know that they can be really good 1 through 9. And with that pitching staff behind them as well, I mean, this is going to be a team that is primed to host again and hopefully make it back to Omaha. So everything's looking great for them as long as they can continue this run into the end of ACC play. They've got a tough schedule coming up. Still series against Florida State, NC State, and whoever else. But yeah, Hall has been really solid all year, and Knapp. I mean, the way he's come back from injury last year has been really impressive to see. I mean, he's borderline ACC, probably first team All ACC, maybe even pitcher of the year.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And then today they followed up with a nice 6-0 win to take the series in the rubber match. Jason DeCaro, 6-3 on the year, went 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks. Just a nice performance from him today.
Yeah.
Not too much offense today as they didn't score their first run to the 6th inning, but Kane Kepley with two doubles today. He continues to just get on the plate. So, Reed, any comments on the Heels as we wrap up this?
Yeah, I'll shout out Tyson Bass made a really good play in the bottom of the 6th when it was still or bottom of the 5th, I believe it was still 0-0.
Are you talking about
bases loaded? Pitt had the bases loaded with 1 out. Guy flew out to right field and threw the guy out to end the inning, and then
it was don't mean to, but I mean.
He shouldn't have gone. I don't know what.
It was a great throw, but I mean that's a questionable sin call there.
Oh, absolutely. Got to question that from the Pitt standpoint. But Kepley led the next inning off with a double. They were kind of able to build from there. But question for you, Braxton. Hogs struggled past 2 weekends. Would you move him back to the Sunday where he was pretty dominant most of the season, DeCaro to Saturday?
I think you could, yeah. DeCaro's kind of quietly been starting to get back to himself. So I think, if he's comfortable, taking the ball on Saturdays, I think you could. And like you said, Hall had some success on Sunday. So I think that's actually a decent idea. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think those 3 will continue to get the ball on the weekends, going into regionals as well. I mean, you've got some reliable arms that you can go to right out of the pen too. I mean, McDuffie, Lynch is still getting the ball in high leverage situations.
Mateus is out for the season.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously you don't have Mateus, but you have some young arms that have been really, really good in carrying your bullpen all year. So I would like to see someone like Padgett or Boaz start to really step up here late in the year. They've got experience, especially pitching in regionals and in ACC tournaments and things like that. So hopefully one of them can kind of take a step up and, provide that fourth really good starting arm for them, because you're going to need it if you're going to be playing a lot of games, especially in postseason play. So, but yeah, I think you could see that, Reed. I think you could see DeCaro go back to Saturday and then Hall to Sunday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next page, yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Coastal Carolina with a 3-0 sweep over JMU. Coming off the sweep, a 4-2 loss to College of Charleston. An interesting loss there. But then again, Reed, Coastal in these midweeks, you kind of see some funky scores for them in the midweek. I mean, they get waxed by Wake last week. They got waxed by them a couple weeks ago as well. And if I'm not mistaken, did they lose to Charleston earlier in the year too?
I believe they did too.
Bad.
I
think they lost.
I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Reed, go ahead.
No, they did. They did lose Charleston at home.
That's what I thought.
So Charleston sweeps them on the year, which is pretty interesting. But Coastal does get the 3-0 sweep. Once again, their rotation was lights out again on Friday night. Well, mind you, these games are a little skewed because of how the games work as rain delays and start. Because Colby, didn't one game end in the didn't one game have to restart in the 8th inning or something like that?
Yeah, so Friday night, it got called off because of rain mid-8th inning, and James Madison was actually up 1-0 in the first game.
Yeah.
When they came back early Saturday to finish that game, Coastal tied it in the top of the 9th to 4 extra innings, and then Coastal scored 8 or 9 runs in the top of the 10th, I believe, and took that game. So maybe that rain out really helped them for that first game, because
they seem to have a history of that.
Yeah, tell me about it, Tobin.
Yeah, no question about it. But I want to highlight their pitching again. Jacob Morrison, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks. And then Cameron Flukie, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 9 Ks. But they get the 14-4 win in 7 innings. Just they're still flying the ball all the way out of that field. Just hitting, just absolutely hitting the ball well as I run through. Game 1, they had 13 hits. Game 2, 11 hits. And then today they had 9 hits. They are just playing absolutely well. Riley Eckhoff had not the best outing today. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs today. But they still did get the win because they're just continuing to hit it out of the park. They're a very good team. And Reed, where do you see them in terms of the Field of 64?
I mean, I'd still firmly have them as a host. I mean, their RPI is such in a great spot, still top 15 in the country. I mean, if you continue to sweep Sunbelt teams on the weekends, you're not going to be punished. Disappointing midweek loss. But, I was taking a look at their upcoming schedule. I mean, their last 3 series are against App State, UL Monroe. Those are both at home, and then close at ODU. So a strong finish to the end of the season here. I mean, they're going to be hosting.
They're going to have easily 40-plus wins.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at a 44 or 45 win regular season.
Colby, are you with Reed on that in terms of Coastal?
Yeah, it's interesting with Sunbelt play. It's just because they're so much better than everybody else, so they're held to a higher standard than a lot of these other hosting, especially in the SEC or ACC, where they have to keep sweeping. To not lose ground on emerging hosts. But yeah, they should definitely be a host.
They do play Clemson. They have a midweek game at home against Clemson on May 6th. So
they beat Clemson already this year as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing about them hosting is, I mean, just what they've built there with that ballpark. I mean, that definitely helps their case. And then, obviously being a national champion in 2016, they've kind of put themselves. They built a culture there where it's like, coastal baseball is recognized nationally. And, it's never really crazy when you talk about a team like that hosting at this point.
Yeah, and there's no question about it. You
I'll
don't
be
want
curious to see. Hopefully, we'll get to see them play Southern Miss
Yeah, in the tournament.
in their conference tournament. Obviously, they already played Troy, lost that series, but
Yeah, that's crazy that they lost the series to Troy, but they still are like firmly in first in the Sun Belt. Troy's
Yeah.
kind of struggled in some of their other series, but because I had Troy to win the Sun Belt regular season, but it's looking like it's going to be Coastal all the way.
I'm pretty sure Troy lost their series this weekend too.
Really
Yeah, Texas State.
tough team.
All right. In the next series, I want to pass to Colby, your alma mater. Charlotte with a 2-1 win over FAU. A nice series win for Charlotte as they continue to climb up the RPI as well as the American standings. Colby, good win for this program.
Yeah, good series win. I didn't catch much of the series, unfortunately, with them moving the Friday game up to like 12 o'clock and moved up today's game to 12 as well. But yeah, Gillespie with another gem on Friday. Seems like he's just going to do that every Friday, and then dropped Saturday's game, but came back today. Dawson Bryce went deep, and just another good series win. And I think this team has a fairly good chance to really compete in that AAC tournament. I mean, I think they're sitting in third right now in the AAC, so be interesting.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And to keep it in the American region, the Pirates drop another series. They have dropped 3 of their last 4 series in the American, are tanking in the American. What is their standing in the American? Does anyone know off their head?
I think it's 5th or 6th. I think it's 6th technically.
With the tiebreakers, I think it's 6th.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting one on Friday, to say the least. Not ideal. I know that I was watching. No, they saw this. Yes, on Friday, right?
Yeah.
You tripping?
Yeah.
It wasn't Friday that I changed the channel.
Friday, they gave up 9 in the first inning.
Correct. Yes, they gave up 9. I'm looking at it right now. Luke Flada for Tulane. Was the only pitcher Tulane spent on that Friday night. 7 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks. But the other side of the story was Brad Pruitt. 0.2 innings, 6 hits, 9 earned runs, 1 K, 11 batters faced. Just not ideal from him at all, as the Pirates get run rule 20. I will say I've covered the Pirates for a long time, and I've never seen them lose a game like this. It was actually pretty shocking to see. They went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers and still lost 20-5. Just not ideal on Friday, Reed, and just not really what you see out of Cliff Godwin teams. So, what were your thoughts Friday?
Embarrassed. I mean, that was terrible to sit through. I just don't understand Godwin's philosophy. You know, Norby's been ECU's best pitcher all season long, and for him to move him now into the bullpen, bring him in after down 9-0, and then he got hit a little bit, and then throw him again on Saturday out of the bullpen. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's head scratching. This team's trending downhill severely. I mean, they're going to have to win the conference tournament if they want to make the NCAA tournament. Their streak of 5 straight American regular season championships. I mean, you can kiss that goodbye too.
Well, I can say it was a flip. It was a flip of the tail of the tape on Saturday as ECU run rules Tulane 15-5, and Reed, Ethan Norby 6 innings, 3 hits, 8 Ks out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So Reed, he was out of the pen, 8 Ks.
And still, you look what he's did most of the season on Friday night. Why would you go away from that?
Fair enough. And
bringing in Pruitt to start, just absolutely a disaster.
Fair enough. And I also want to highlight Dixon Williams, 3 home runs on the weekend. He was absolutely outstanding. He played well, a lot of hits on Saturday. Davin Whitaker hit one, as well as Austin Irby to force it. And then today, Reed really just didn't have an answer. Sean Jenkins has not had it most of the year. And then Jake Hunter today did not have it. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 Ks, and just the offense is just kind of stagnant at times, Reed. I will say, when they inserted Riley Johnson in the lineup, I kind of thought there would be some juice there, but there was no juice. And this ECU team is fading quickly.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think I was the same way too when Riley back in the lineup. Thought things might change. Just the offense couldn't do anything today. So at Wichita next weekend, and then they play UTSA. So they better figure it out quickly.
Yeah, no question about it. And I will be at their game on Tuesday because I recently just moved to Mebane, so not far from Elon. So I'll be going to Latham Park for the barn burner, ECU at Elon. So be prepared for that, boys. The next series, Braxton, High Point. Nice back over Wofford. This Wofford team has fallen off planet Earth, but High Point is a nice sweep over Wofford.
Yeah, definitely. They get a break from Big South play. Obviously, they're still playing a tough team in Wofford coming in, but they just keep hitting. I mean, you look at their runs totals yesterday, 9 and 15. That's what this team does. They've hit the ball all year. Wofford, I thought, could maybe hit with them. This was probably borderline pick'em, right, type series, but I guess we went with the Elon A&T, which is fine because we haven't had A&T on yet. But High Point, I mean, look, they're going to have to just get back into Big South play next week. And, it's going to be neck and neck with them in Upstate, the rest of the way. So, obviously, they're going to want to have as good of a resume as possible. I don't think they will get an at-large if they lose the tournament.
Losing last weekend to Asheville.
That's true.
All that, yeah.
So they are at 30 wins now with that sweep of Wofford. But like you said, Reed, that does probably hurt their chances of any sort of at-large. So they're going to have to just do what we all thought and win that tournament. But they definitely want to do that by getting hot here late in the regular season and winning the regular season so they can get the 1 seed and set themselves up nicely to play at their, in their hometown in their tournament. So, and go back to back for the Panthers. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and they had a special guest throughout the first pitch of their game.
I saw that.
Adam Stewart, and it was funny. Did you guys see the comment that was with the picture?
I didn't. I saw the picture. I didn't. Was it like the caption? What did it say?
Colby, did you see it?
Like Mr. High Point or something?
It was
like that?
Mr. High Point himself. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Shout out Adam Stewart, Athens Drive legend. Huge for him. Hopefully we'll be hooking up with him soon. Pause at some games just to see some nice High Point action, as well as some Rockets, right, Reed?
Absolutely.
That's right. And to keep it in and to move on to the CAA, a pick'em series. Elon sweeps A&T. Nice series win for Elon. Good for them. Happy for them. A&T struggling once again. And Reed Tobin, guess what, Reed? Your Queens Royals picked up a win today. So what's the message going forward now? What's their record now? Are they now
6-35?
Reed, going into big midweek, probably against Texas on Tuesday. What's the message?
Pretty close. They play at UNC on Wednesday night. So.
Exactly.
I mean, UNC should just find a way to cancel that game.
Yeah, I mean, good win for Queens though today.
Reed, will you be wearing a Queen shirt or UNC shirt on Tuesday for the game?
Queens.
Yep, goes to show. And the next one, final series, Wake Forest. Oh, Colby, did you have comments about Queens?
No, exciting win today. Picking up the 6th win of the victory on April 27th speaks volumes.
No question about it. And Colby, the last one, I'll start this one off with you because I was watching the end of the game on Friday night, but I was fading asleep. And I saw your text, anyone watching Stanford Wake, but I was like fighting sleep, and I was like, oh, I should have texted him back. But that was a crazy way for that game to end, as well as extend the game on Friday night.
Yeah, it was like, what was it, like 2 a.m. or so? It was something crazy. I was flipping back and forth between that game and the LSU Tennessee game.
Moved back to 10:50.
That was a great finish to the game.
Yeah,
and then once that ended, I went over to Wake Forest, and it was still tied. It was like the 13th inning. I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. It certainly was.
Right, CG after dark. But Friday, going into the ninth inning, so it was the top of the ninth. Stanford was up 6-5, 2 outs, no one on. Stanford walks 4 straight guys to then force it to extras. Unbelievable. Then Colby, I fell asleep right then, so I don't know what happened after that. But I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's enough for me on this Friday night at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was like probably like 1% awake, but I saw Stanford won. I turned off the TV and I went to bed.
Yeah, but none. Yeah, but none less for Wake Forest. I mean, they went down 0-1, then won the last 2 games. It's hard to travel. I know we've said it all year. It's tough to go across the country and pick up a series. A good series win for them because they have been up and down all year. I know they go down to Florida State, beat them, but then they sit here and lose to some interesting teams on the weekend as well as the week. But a good win for Wake Forest. Reed, where are they kind of shaking up in terms of NCAA tournament?
I mean, they're still firmly in. I don't think obviously they're not going to host, but they will be. I'd put them as a 2 seed right now in someone's regional. Definitely. I mean, we all know if they get hot, they could make a run to Omaha. But this Stanford team, I mean, they have fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
Ever since they took the series in Chapel Hill, I thought this was like, oh, Stanford's back. This is their typical team after last year's down year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they're 7-17 now in the ECC. I mean, that's a terrible series loss for a Carolina standpoint. But
Yeah.
don't think
Especially
I
at
would
home.
have guessed. Yeah, I don't think I would have guessed that month and a half ago.
I will say, Wake, if the committee puts them in Coastal's regional, that is just like the worst possible
I hope
outcome for
not.
Coastal because But I think if Coastal has their weekend arms against Wake, I think they compete a lot better, especially in a
That
regional
crowd
setting.
too.
Yeah, in a regional setting, I think that'd be a great game. Obviously, Wake's run ruled them twice this year, but that's the only worry I really have for the Coastal team is like how deep is their arms really because they've struggled in some midweeks. I mean, you guys said it. Charleston beat them twice, Wake's beat them twice. So, I mean, I know we're getting back on Coastal there, but I just wanted to mention that for Wake. I do also agree with Reed that they're probably firmly a 2 seed right now somewhere.
I 100% agree. And to kind of keep it into that same realm, Braxton, if we want to talk about the RPI, you just updated that, correct? That is today's date. Yep, Sunday 4/27. So
Yeah.
we don't need to pull it up. I can run through it. North Carolina leads the Carolinas RPI at 7. Clemson tailing them with 8. Coastal at 12. NC State 22. Wake Forest 25, and then a big jump to Duke at 41, South Carolina at 54. Reed, as we're looking through this RPI, right when you get to about NC State, what do you think? I mean, I know Colby and Reed are more in terms with this RPI, Colby, but what if? I mean, how am I going to phrase this question of? In terms of getting to the host, what does their RPI look like?
I mean, ideally, you want it to be in the top. I mean, I'll go up. I'll say top 25. Usually, that's where you're gonna want it. State is a host right now. I know they're sitting at 22 right now. They jumped up 15 spots alone this weekend for sweeping Clemson. But I mean, State's strength of schedule is 30, and then you go up to like West Virginia, who's 15 in the RPI, but strength of schedule of 128. So I mean, RPI is weird. But State is in a really good position right now.
Colby?
I mean, State's RPI and strength of schedule is just going to get better too, especially if they keep winning like at Miami. That'll help the strength of schedule. And the RPI if they win at Carolina will help the strength of schedule. RPI if they win 1 or 2, and hosting Stanford won't help as much for those 2 series. The reason State's RPI isn't in the teens yet and still in the 20s is early loss to Ohio State, and that whole 3-game series the series, but it was the Jacksonville Invitational. They got swept in. That was like the second or third week of the season.
Coastal.
So you count that, and then their only other series loss, their only true series loss is at Duke. So, and the resume is just too good right now. I think even at RPF 22, they're firmly a host right now.
It would be interesting. I mean, right now, I think you could easily say the Carolinas will have 4 hosts. If the season ended today, the Carolinas would have 4 hosts. I mean,
Yeah.
Heck, you even look at Duke. I mean, they still have to play Clemson and Georgia Tech. I mean, mathematically, I mean, if they swept both of those and made a run in Durham during the ACC tournament, they could be on the hosting picture. I thought they would have hosted last year. I think they were kind of shafted last year after they won the tournament, and then they were shipped out to Norman. But
Well, you can't host at Jack Coombs, and they don't want it to have it at the DPAP.
right,
So that's another big issue. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a problem. I mean, it's the same thing with Campbell a couple years ago.
I mean, if they're right there on the bubble, I mean, then NCAA is just going to
That's
pass
my
on
point
Duke
about
the rest.
Coastal.
Huh?
That's like goes back to my point about Coastal. Like the reason that they're a host is because of logistics too. Like
It's Myrtle Beach.
yeah, it's Myrtle Beach. They have a great park. They can easily host there. I think they have before, right?
Yeah,
Yes, they lost. The last time they hosted, they didn't win the regional.
Yeah.
2023.
Ryder beat them.
Hey, winning
Yeah,
a regional
Ryder beat
is
them.
no easy thing.
Can't remember who won. Who was it that won that? Was it Washington?
Duke was in that too, right?
I think Duke won it.
Yeah, Duke was in that.
Okay, yeah, Duke won it. Yeah,
Then Duke went and played Virginia.
that's right. Yeah.
That's right. Do we want to look at the pick'em?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I don't know if we can. I'll pull it up, but I believe me and Money had the best weeks this week at 4-1.
Yeah, can we just talk about Money's record here?
He's now leading the pick'em. Tobin falls a game back, and I'm a game back of Tobin in third. I think
First time all season I haven't had the lead.
Colby,
Money's been-
you were holding down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as I can stay above 500 for this season, I'm good. I tried to get a little different this week to try to make up some ground. It didn't work too well for me.
Yeah, Colby and Kaysen going 2 and 3 this week. You guys had actually identical picks. You had State, Charleston, A&T, and VMI letting you guys down, and then we all got the clean sweep on Southern Miss. Sorry, App State, but we went with the better team there. And then Reed, you had Clemson and Charleston, so those were your 2 losses, but you did have Elon and Citadel and Southern Miss. So Reed with a 3 and 2 week, and then Tech 2 and 3 as well. So
what's Tech's record now overall?
Tech overall is
Your
20
Queens' record.
20 and 30.
That's hard.
What do we want to do? Let's so for the pick'em, what do we want to do? I guess we've got 3 more weeks left of that, and then we can go into conference tournament picks.
Yeah.
We'll obviously take a look back at conference regular season picks and see who did the best there. Once that ends, and then we'll do regional picks, super regional picks, all that when it gets.
And also looking to incorporate a lot more betting in terms once we get into the conference, once we get into the NCAA tournament, because all the lines will be up because it's an NCAA event. I mean, if you look at some of these lines, you will not be able to find half of our lines that we post, half of the lines of the games we post because of just where they are. So it's just how it is. But once we get into that, Reed, we'll get into some money locks, right?
Hopefully.
He did. He went like 0 for 2 this week. I think he bet on Clemson twice, and obviously we know how that turned out. So
yeah, no doubt about it. Reed, will we be seeing another field of 64 this week, sir?
Yeah. Maybe we'll try to get it out before Wednesday.
yeah, May 1st is Thursday, right?
Yeah, let's try to get it out Wednesday morning.
Okay.
And I know that we did it. I mean, I watched you and Colby do it. I know Braxton was having his birthday. Happy late birthday, Braxton. But I know I sat in and watched y'all talk about it. Really good discussions, guys. And I've honestly thought about it because I know I've watched D1s last year. The when the D1 makes their field of 64, they broadcast their discussions and doing it. So I've honestly thought about maybe recording it live, but then again, there is a lot of funny banter between the three of us that I don't know if we can put out there live when talking about these teams.
That would be fun to do, though.
Which is kind of funny. Reed would definitely have to wear a pacifier while doing it. But it is a whole lot of fun watching them do it. I am part of it, but not as much as I would like to be because I'm making the graphic and doing other things while they're doing that. But it is fun to sit in and watch them. So if you are listening, let us know if you would like to see that. We could broadcast it live. We could just post it as a YouTube video if you want that. We can post it, hey, here's our thoughts and reasonings for why we did this. Just let us know. The thought has entered my head. And honestly, might just do it as a YouTube video and then put the parental guidelines on it and say this does have explicit content in it when Tobin starts talking about some of these programs and how bad they are. Right, Reed?
No, never.
we had a case in at work when we're about to post or when you're making the graphic because our last national seed was between UC Irvine and UCLA, and that night they were playing. So me and Reed were like, all right, late. Yeah, it was about midnight, and me and Reed were like, whoever wins this game, they had pretty similar, not similar resumes, but similar overall resume, and we're like, me and Reed were like, whoever wins this game, we'll give that 16 seed to.
Came down
I think we had UCLA as like the 8 in the first one too. Didn't we, Reed?
I think we had them sitting 10-11, I believe.
I know we had them. We had them hosting, but I liked the UC Irvine show. I think that would be a sick host.
Yeah, I mean,
they
took care of business against Cal Poly this weekend. That was a huge West Coast showdown. So
Cal Poly is really good too.
Yeah, Irvine is firmly a host.
I kind of hope they come somewhere over here. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting. Definitely a lot of changes to the field of 64. Teams ranked 2 through 6 in the country all lost series this weekend, including the number 9, and then obviously a lot of other top 25 teams lost. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, no question. But also stay tuned for the newly money Matt Pick'em. Matt, you can pick the 5 games this week, or just pick 5 series this weekend. We'll pick them. I know we've been on a rotation. My pick'em this past week was some interesting ones. Also, Matt, try to get some teams that are not always in there. Like, don't just chalk it up like we do.
Make sure they're in the Carolinas. We don't want any Mississippi.
Oh yeah, that needs to be said.
Yeah,
and we don't need to pick them of which Oreo Blizzard is the best flavor, chocolate or vanilla. Either. Keep it in the Carolinas. Reed, Tobin, Reed, and Matt had dinner last night together, and Reed went to Dairy Queen after we left Chipotle.
False. I like to put words in my mouth. We all know the 2 culprits that went there.
And I will say another thing on the sweets. Tobin said to me the other day, I would like to get some General Mills samples, even though Colby witnessed me show me the new samples and scolded all of them. Right, Colby?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I just want to set the record straight there. Matt, we have a huge pitching matchup for the pitch. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
It is.
You're so close to reading every comment right tonight.
We have a huge pick'em matchup for the Presbyterian series. This pick'em series.
I need to see who they're playing now. I don't think he knows.
Colby, you did this. Colby.
I said we're shooting for 90% read accuracy tonight, so I think you're.
They're playing. They're playing High Point Presbyterian at home. Could be a pick'em.
This be the first Presbyterian pick'em, correct? I think.
I don't know. I think we've had them in there.
They're in. Hold on. There's a stat of them.
Oh no. Okay, so the only teams we haven't had in is Queens, Asheville, Presbyterian, and Davidson.
Is that 5 teams right there?
I guarantee you Davidson's in the pick'em this week.
Oh yes,
absolutely, they will be.
absolutely. So that's 2 off. We need to get Queens in there sooner than later. Reed, when you do the pick 'em next week, put Queens in there.
Okay.
Even if they're playing Texas, put them in there.
God.
All right, boys. Loads of content this week. We got a lot of good games on in the midweek as well. Reed and Colby's and Braxton's Field of 64 will be out Wednesday morning. Be on the lookout for that for sure.
Possibly
Also,
Pat's Thursday too.
huh? Yes.
Possibly
So
Saturday.
Thursday is May 1st, first of the month.
Yeah.
Spring is here, summer's here, whichever you want to call it. We'll be posting our stat leaders for the week. Be on the lookout for those. We will be saying who leads the countess in each category. Reed, you looking forward to that? Will any Royals be on those lists?
No. But
Enthusiasm for your program.
No, I'm definitely excited. We're getting crazy. We're nearing the end of the regular season, but this is the most exciting part. So definitely looking forward to it.
No question about it. Colby, any lasting comments before we sign off?
No, I don't think so. Just massive series at the end of the year for sure.
Is that a Will Wade
A lot
hat?
of implications. It is a Will Wade hat.
I love it.
Respect. Braxton, what hat are you wearing, sir?
I'm repping the Spartans today, man. Up and down. I like your hat as well. They had a great draft. We didn't talk about it. We went the whole show.
Draft. Great draft.
Yeah, NFL draft was pretty dope. I liked it in Green Bay. I think it was cool.
Colby, we'll go through the teams here first. Colby, how did your team do in the draft? What are your thoughts?
I thought it went really well. I was a little upset that I waited for about like 3.5 hours just to see. The Rams usually don't have their first round pick, but we had it last year for the first time in like 8 years. It turned out it was a good pick, Jared Verse. He's really good, and we had it this year, and I waited 3.5 hours because we had like the 26th or 27th pick because we're good last year. Something Kaysen can't comprehend, but they traded back, but it turns out we actually got a good haul. Got the Falcons' first round pick, so fine with me.
Reed, how did your team do in the draft?
Well, they focus mainly on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they need all the help they can get.
Who is your team, sir?
Bengals. Shout out Duke Tobin.
And this is indeed a false statement. This is not true. Kaysen does not hate Tet. It was a shocking pick by the Carolina Panthers. I was just a little thrown off guard by it. I don't hate.
I think
him.
it's a good pick for the Panthers. I texted you that night. I thought I was surprised by it, but I think it's a good pick.
And Braxton thinks the Panthers just got receiver 1 2 hours ago.
Hunter Renfrow will make the active roster. You heard it here first. Kaysen's a non-believer.
Hold on, we need a
I'll put a poll out on Carolina Curveball tomorrow.
We need a back check on that statement. You say he'd be a top 3 producing receiver on the team.
Let me rephrase. I'm going to go top 4.
Nope.
I said top 4.
This is not 2016 senior year for him.
I said 3, but then I forgot about Thielen. Okay, he's going to be top 4 receiver. Mark my words. In yards, in catches, all of it.
He will not be on the team at all,
bro.
He wasn't on the team last year either.
That's what I mean. And I mean, he was literally at an insurance firm last year.
The guy's a baller, man. Just ask John Gruden.
Yeah, and look where John Gruden is too.
Anymore.
He is funny though. I'll give him that. He is funny. I will watch his stuff, but not the silence anymore. Any other? Oh, Reed, Dega, give us a Dega update, sir. I know I watched the race today. A boring finish, but Austin Cindric gets the win today in Dega.
Like you said, pretty disappointing end to the race. For sure, would have thought they would have wrecked, but
per usual, the Xfinity race has been better than the Cup race the last couple of weeks.
Yep, I mean, just fix the car, NASCAR. It's not hard.
I 100% agree. It's disappointing, but Oh, one more last update, Reed. The golf tournament this weekend. How was it? Did you partake in the Zurich this weekend?
Yeah, I watched it today. Former heel Ben Griffin got it done with Andrew Novak. But how about y'all want to say how y'all played yesterday on the course against me and Matt?
Did I wrap up the show, folks? Folks, be sure to tune in to kind of Curveball this week for all of our content, our rankings tomorrow, as well as
Comment of the night.
Great comment.
huh?
It's a great comment.
Comment of the night from Darrell.
I don't get it.
We're
He's
talking
roasting
NASCAR
you guys talking to NASCAR.
on Carolina Curveball.
I mean, where was NASCAR born?
North
Fair
Carolina.
enough. Fair enough.
North Carolina. North Carolina. The home of NASCAR. So, yep. All right, boys. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen on Spotify. Thank you for listening. If you're watching, thank you for watching. We will see you on Thursday.